Are you ready to master the art of punctuation? Many of us have struggled with using colons, semicolons, and commas correctly, but it's time to set the record straight. In this video, we'll dive right into the world of punctuation and explore the correct usage of these essential marks. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I, Neme, help you unlock the secret of fluent speaking and writing. So let's start with commas. Commas are actually used in list, compound sentences, and inserted phrases. Now for list, you have I need to buy oranges, mangoes, and apples. Can you see the commas used? You want to make use of commas when you are listing some items, like I need to buy oranges, comma, mangoes. Can you see the comma? And apples. Now in the United States, commas are actually used after each word. But in the UK, you do not need the comma between the last two words. For example, in the sentence we made, you do not need to use the comma between mangoes and apples. Now it depends on where or what country you are when writing. Let's look at another example. He decided to call his sister brother and father at the same time. One of the things that comma does is that it helps you pause when speaking, because sometimes when we do not put commas, we try to rush our sentences or the words, but comma helps you pause while reading or speaking. So he decided to call his sister, brother, and father at the same time. If the list involves short phrases, you want to use commas as well. For example, he decided he wanted to learn a skill, go on vacation, and then visit his grandmother. I am reading this sentence, I'm actually pausing where the commas are used. When you want to write compound sentences, you make use of commas. For example, he enjoyed every part of the show, but his favorite was the award presentation. Now, there are two sentences. Compound sentences basically is two simple sentences coming together. The first simple sentence is he enjoyed every part of the show, while the other simple sentence is his favorite was the award presentation. Another example of when we use comma in a sentence, the ticket was expensive, so I was not able to afford it. Now, this is two sentences coming together, compound sentences coming together. The first simple sentence is the ticket was expensive, I was not able to afford it. Now we use a comma to link both sentences together. One other way to use commas in sentences is in inserted phrases. For example, the profits for the year, which were better than last year, were a welcome experience. Can you see the use of commas in this sentence? Inserted phrases basically gives you more information about the subject of the sentence. So the principal, which is the subject of the sentence, Mrs. Susie was hostile to the student. Do not use a comma to connect two sentences. I know previously we had used two simple sentences together, but if you look at the word properly, we used conjunctions. Now for the colon is used when you want to bring an attention to something or introduce words, a list, or an idea. For example, you know what to do, practice. Now this is bringing your attention to an idea or introducing you to a word. Now, do not capitalize the first word after the colon. A lot of times when we use a colon, we tend to capitalize the first word. It is not a full stop, it is a colon. The colon is also used to separate dialogue from a character. Now look at this example. The company required the following things. The company required the following things. A colon is after things, and then list what the company requires, which is a business card, a phone number, and an email. Can you see how we use the colon? The company required the following things, and then you start listing. That is why it is said that a colon is used when you want to introduce a list when you want to introduce a list in your sentence. Colons also can be used to introduce a quotation. For example, Hamlet said it best, to be or not to be. Now when you are quoting someone, you want to follow the colon with quotation marks and also capitalizing the first word. I think we've talked about rules of capitalization. You capitalize the first word of every quotation. Another example is the company secretary made the announcement The virtual training starts on Monday and ends on Friday. Can you see the use of colon and also quotation marks with us capitalizing the first word? A colon is used to qualify a sentence by introducing meaning or an explanation. For example, my mother taught me the most important thing, forgiveness. Can you see how we introduced an explanation by using colon? My mother taught me the most important thing, forgiveness. Now, you do not want to use a colon after a verb. You don't want to say, I need colon, apples, oranges, and mangoes. Instead, the proper way to write the sentence is, I need the following from the store: apples, oranges, and mangoes. Can you see that we did not use the colon immediately after the verb, but we inserted another phrase which said, I need the following from the store. Now, this is where I'll tell you to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more of this video. So subscribe, like, and comment. Now, I also want you to take out time to give me an example using a comma, a semicolon, and a colon. The next one is semicolon. For semicolons, semicolons connect two simple sentences together. It is stronger than a comma, but less final than a period. Some of the common uses of a semicolon include it is used to join two or more sentences together, and it is used to separate items. For example, we have, she calls it a rubber, I call it an eraser. And you see these two sentences are actually simple sentences. We can use semicolon to separate them. Final example is, my teacher is the best. She always helps me. My teacher is the best, semicolon, she always helps me. And we can see that we have introduced another simple sentence to the sentence, making it a compound sentence and making use of the punctuation semicolon. You can always use a conjunction to replace the semicolon. Instead of saying, my teacher is the best, semicolon, you could say, my teacher is the best and she always helps me. All right, I hope with these we have been able to differentiate and know when to use your commas, your colons, and your semicolons. I will see you in my next class. Have a beautiful day. Bye.